All right, so here we have two equations that are graphically represented here. One of the equations is y equals x. So that might not look exactly like you're familiar with y equals mx plus b or slope-intercept form. But let's take a look at this graph. So this green line right here, it goes through the origin, okay? So the b is 0. That's represented right here. Now we go up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. So that's a slope of 1 over 1, or just 1. So for the m, we put it right here as 1. So it's y equals 1x plus 0. Because 0 is here, we don't always need to really show it because it's just 0. So in this case, we can just drop the 0. And since 1 is here, we can just drop the 1 because if there's nothing in front of a variable, you can just assume whatever in front of the variable is 1, because 1 times x is just x. So since 1 times x is just x, and 0 doesn't add anything, you can rewrite this longer form of the slope-intercept equation as y equals x. So that's why this green line has the equation of y equals x. Now we have this red line. What is the equation of this red line? It is completely horizontal. It is absolutely flat. Horizontal lines have slopes of 0. So their slope is going to be m equals 0. So where the m is in y equals mx plus b, we're going to put a 0. Now the b is the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept of this horizontal line? It goes through 3 on the y-axis. So that's why we put a 3 here. Now since 0 times anything, like 0 times x is just 0, we could just add 0 plus 3, and that's 3. Meaning 0 times x is just 0, so that drops out. It doesn't have to be in this equation because it's 0 times something. So many times, in fact, most times that you see a horizontal line, it's not going to be written y equals 0x plus b. It's actually just going to be written y equals whatever that y-intercept is. So we've taken this, which is a correct form, but this form below is what you're much more likely to see for horizontal lines. So we have y equals x as one equation of a line and y equals 3 as our other equation for the line. Now we can have them on a graph. Where do they intersect? They intersect at this point, 3, 3. Because 3, 3 is the point of intersection, and we've learned that where two lines intersect is a common solution, then 3, 3 is our common solution in this particular case. So we can write the common solution. Solution is 3, 3. Always remember that a solution, when you write it in coordinate form, you put the x value first and the y value second. In this case, it's kind of interesting because both the y and the x values are the same. But just so you know, this represents x and the second 3 represents a y. Okay, there's another way that you can write the solution to the equation, and that is sometimes you'll want to write it just as a coordinate like that with a parentheses. Don't forget the parentheses. All coordinates need to have parentheses around them. Okay, if you don't put the parentheses around them, you'll get some credit taken off on your quiz. So please put parentheses around coordinates. You may also see in the answer part of a quiz, it'll say y equals, what is your y value? What is your x value? So you could either write your solution like this in coordinate form, or you could break them up and say the y value of this coordinate is 3, and the y value of this coordinate right here, and the x value is 3. So y value is 3 and the x value is 3. So this is just another way that you can write your answer. It's breaking up the two values into just saying exactly what they are. So you may see it in either one of these forms. And so that's how you would do this graphing situation with some equations that may look a little odd to you, but at the end of the day, we should be able to see that they're perfectly normal equations.